Welcome to Girl Talk. We're so glad you could join us today. We are at Odana Antiques on Odana Road. We love visiting this store. There's so much to see.
Absolutely.
And yes, you're about to say something.
I just love being here. It's so pretty. I feel like I'm in the middle of a beautiful summer set. It's gorgeous.
Right?
I gotta say, even if you're not into antiques, you're gonna love it. And if you're trying to keep cool this summer, what a great way to cool off and bring a friend along. Now, I know I've talked about that before, and I did bring a friend recently, and something else I discovered that's really awesome about bringing someone is not only sharing the cool stuff like, you know, isn't this cool, do you remember this from back when or whatever, but that other person tends to notice things that you don't.
Yeah,
Right.
That's such a good point.
And I love that, because I'm, you know, shiny object over here, and somebody else is noticing something over there. So can't tell you enough to stop in and definitely bring someone along.
Yeah, you'll be glad you did. It's a fun place to be.
And sometimes they have coffee.
At least you may have had a cup or two.
Just a few.
Bouncing over here.
Yeah.
Good morning.
And Elise and I are looking a little vintage. We'll be talking about dresses from Casey Plasch's store, the Mes Amies Dress Boutique in Hilldale.
Yes.
And
I'm waiting for somebody to pull prom pictures out of their back pocket. I don't think today we're going to do that.
It's over.
Not today. Not today. You never know when, though. So.
That's right.
Well,
You got to
we're
be on
still
your
on the
toes.
list. We
I
haven't
know.
shown ours yet.
Yes.
Could happen.
But how appropriate with being here at Odana Antiques that we talk about vintage inspired dresses.
Yeah.
So Casey's got a great way of taking those, I don't know, older styles, I guess.
This is a part of my own collection, and I've worn it numerous times.
From Mes Amies.
Yeah, from Mes Amies. And I get compliments on it every
It
time
fits you
I
really
wear it.
well.
Yeah, and she has so many different styles, and I think the vintage inspired looks like kind of shape everybody or fit everybody.
But what I was trying to say, she has a way of bringing it up to date, so you don't
Absolutely.
feel like you're necessarily stuck in the 50s or whatever. Let's see, who else do we have? Wisconsin Martial Arts and Fitness Center.
Billie and Charles.
Billie and
Yep.
Charles.
Two awesome guys. They're going to come in and talk to us a little bit about new programs coming up for school and after school, focusing on like bullies. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's such a problem right now, so
Sad.
you wanna tune into that.
And we actually have them coming up next, so stay tuned. We'll be right back right after this.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are here today at Odana Antiques off of Odana Road, but first I'm joined by Charles and Billie of Wisconsin Martial Arts and Fitness. Thank you both for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Now it's that time of year, we don't want to think about it, but people are going back to school. We're not, thankfully. So that's a relief. But maybe for parents too, it is kind of a relief. It's that time of year, getting the kids ready, getting them back out of the house into school, and you guys have got some back to school discounts and different things you guys have going on right now.
Yeah, right now we have our back to school special going. It's $19.99 for 1 month of training and a uniform. We're going to talk a little bit more about our bully prevention stuff that's coming.
Awesome.
But anybody who starts now, part of the package will be to receive the free bully prevention as part of it.
Very cool.
What are the age ranges really for that?
I mean, you know, kids start going to school at, you know, 4 years old, 5 years old, and bullying can happen at any age. So even
Right.
if you have high schoolers or anybody in between, it's a really good thing for
What a
everybody to
confidence
know.
boost.
Exactly.
So any other after school programming that's going on?
Yeah, this summer's actually been just a phenomenal summer for us in terms of growth and expansion. Our after school, our summer camp programs have really grown, and we have actual program directors that are taking our kids out just throughout the community. Just really, you know, doing a great job with giving them exposure and taking them up to campus and Monona Terrace and, you know, just the Dells, Kalahari. So it's been a great summer, and you know, it's going to continue on throughout the school year. We've actually just established a partnership with UW, the University of Madison.
Congrats.
Yeah, that they're going to be sending interns to our schools, so we'll always have interns working, doing after-school programming for kids. So that'll give our kids exposure to all the newest, you know, ways of just doing things and you know, just working with, you know, people that are on that level. So
Well,
we're
congrats
pretty
on your
happy.
new success.
Yeah.
And it sounds like That camp sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go.
What a great way to get everybody involved.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun. I think the camp directors have more fun than the kids, actually. So.
No kidding. Now you guys have a tournament coming up too, the MAFC tournament on September 24th. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, the tournament's going to be a full day-long tournament, and we're inviting people from the community to come watch. And you know, we plugged it right at the beginning of the school year, so a lot of the kids can bring their friends in to watch them compete. And you know, it's a lot of fun. It's a family-friendly environment. We're going to have a very special and unique adaptive component because we have people from our adaptive programs that are going to be competing at the tournament. So we're going to be doing that, a breakathon to raise money for our schools and
A breakathon? Breaking boards?
Yeah.
We were just talking
Yeah,
about
I
that.
was like, I want to break a board or something and chop it in half.
Yeah, so we're going to make that happen for you ladies. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, we
I
got to
love
get
it.
in there.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about the tournament, and September 24th, and you know, we're inviting the community to be there. It's open to the public, and our young adults compete, our adults compete, and it's just a great day. So.
Billy, is there anything else you want to mention quick before we go?
Yeah, the bully prevention program is a big one for us. So
Okay.
the week of September 12th, we're going to open it up not just for our regular students, but for anybody who wants to come in. It's going to be a week of classes where we really tailor on what to do with a bully, how to conduct yourself, how to handle that person, and put together a whole framework of just what to do in those scenarios. So
important.
Yeah,
It really is.
and
Especially with everything in the news and the media, and you hear more and more about bullying these days.
yeah, it's a big deal. And so putting together that framework, it's not just about physical techniques, but again, it's that idea of giving someone the confidence to like protect themselves emotionally and mentally as well. So that's something that we really recommend everybody come and take part of.
Not just the physical skills, but the verbal skills, the de-escalation tactics and techniques and things like that are really important. And you know, we both have started actually doing summer presentations for people leading up to the school year, because a lot of times once the school year happens, it gets lost in the jumble with everything else. So we've actually started, you know, doing a lot of that stuff now.
Well, that's great, and there's no
Wonderful.
better guys to teach you
Wonderful. Charles and Billy, thank you so much. Wisconsin Martial Arts and Fitness, thanks for being here.
Thank
you.
And we'll be back with more Girl Talk right after this.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are filming today at Odana Antiques. This is on Odana Road. Later we'll talk with Sue Duncan. She's the owner here at Odana Antiques, and she'll tell us what's hot in the store right now and maybe even give you some tips for back to school and outfitting your dorm room. Sticking with the lines of vintage and antique, we are outfitted today by Mes Amies, the dress boutique in Hilldale, and lucky enough to have the owner, Casey Plasch, with us. Welcome, Casey.
Yes, thank you, Janet, for having me back.
And thanks for outfitting us today. We're talking vintage-inspired dresses, and
We are. I thought it would be the absolute appropriate topic. So
it is, since we're here today, absolutely. So what styles do you consider to be vintage-inspired, and why do you choose to carry them?
Yeah, so we actually call ourselves vintage inspired or classic because we take a little bit from the 20s, 40s, 50s, and even into the 60s styles and kind of present them in a more updated way. And we do this because classic styles really look good on diverse body types.
Mm-hmm. I agree. This one is my own collection from your shop. I tried it on and I wasn't giving it back. So how do we take these classic styles and still wear them in a more updated way?
Yeah, so we actually brought a couple girls from our store. So Kelsey is wearing a lace sort of shift dress, which is really great because it brings a floral, so a pattern that might be considered vintage, but the shape itself is actually more updated. And I really think it's absolutely the most sophisticated that you could wear to a wedding or event.
It is stunning.
So the pattern
Absolutely
makes
stunning.
it more vintage, but you said the shape of the dress is what helps bring it more up to date.
Right, and I think that the reason that we do carry so many of these is because, you know, maybe some of the trends or fashions that you would see in department stores aren't as, you know, appropriate to wear to an array of things. So I think this is a great example of that.
Now, going off of that, what type of events can you wear dresses like this to?
Yeah, so Stephanie's dress is actually a really great example of one that I feel like you could wear out for a dinner, but you really could also wear it to work. And a lot of these classic styles are going to have just a little bit longer of a skirt, you know, to the knee. So something you could wear in a business environment as well.
I love that
Multi-purpose.
because you feel comfortable, and you can also
Right.
wear it. Wear it to here, wear it to there.
Right, so it's a dress, it's one piece, so not only is it easy, but you can wear it, multiple times instead of trying to always find separates each day.
I love that.
So what are some tips you can offer for folks that would like to kind of delve into this but don't want to feel like they're wearing a costume, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a question that we get all the time, and I think it's because vintage has made such a comeback that sometimes what we see can almost get into that kind of costumey realm, which is fun too for certain events. But it's really to take maybe, what we're wearing and then put a more updated piece of jewelry or a shoe, like a nice patent nude shoe like Kelsey was wearing with the vintage print, kind of brings it into today's times. And I wanted to mention too, because Ellen is wearing this beautiful jewelry.
Drooling over this.
And,
Yeah.
So these are
So
great
pretty.
ways too. So maybe taking a vintage inspired piece of jewelry, but then putting it with something more. And actually her top of her dress is pretty modern in comparison. And then again, bringing in a vintage print.
And we should mention that you have this kind of jewelry in your shop.
We do, and it's all 100% handmade and in the U.S. But a lot of them
pretty.
are vintage settings that have been remade, or even pieces that are gathered from around the world and reset.
Love that. I know when you outfitted me with this dress, I was like, I don't think I have a necklace to do this dress justice. So I went without.
Yeah, and it doesn't really need one at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting
And your
when it's
earring
up.
actually being kind of a chandelier earring is a vintage inspiration. So sometimes, we don't even realize what we're pulling. But there's so much great things that can be remade into today. So.
And thanks to your help, we can
Yes.
get that.
Okay,
taken care
real
of.
quick. I
Yeah,
have to
right.
know, what is your personal favorite vintage inspiration, I guess?
Yeah, so mine is absolutely the 50s. I love a circle skirt. They look beautiful on everybody, and we have an array of those in the store too.
I don't know what
so.
that is. Circle skirt.
So like picture I Love Lucy, kind of like walking in. So something that's a little bit more fitted and then has that beautiful full round skirt.
Yeah.
Love that.
Anything to make your waist look a little smaller.
Yes, yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Well, thanks again, Casey, for outfitting us today and coming in to
Yes.
talk to us about your dresses.
Yes, thank you, ladies.
Again, this is Casey Plasch with Mes Amies. It's a dress boutique in Hilldale. We are at Odana Antiques, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Girl Talk, and the moment you've all been waiting for. We are at Odana Antiques off of Odana Road, and we're joined now by Sue and Carly. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
Well, yeah, right. Thank you. And so this set you have set up here is just gorgeous. So
Thank you.
we kind of all blend well into the colors, I think, as well. It reminds me of like a garden party.
That's
I love
what we
it.
were going for.
Perfect.
So we're going to have to stay here. So if you want to come shop, all
Right.
four of us will be sitting right
We're
here.
not gonna
Somebody
leave.
serve martinis.
Oh,
That'd
that
be
sounds
nice.
lovely.
That's
That
the
would-
kind of
that would be
garden
good.
party I
Yeah.
want to go to.
Wait, I shouldn't say that yet.
Yeah,
no,
right,
no,
right.
Come back in a couple months.
So Sue, wanted to start off with what's new here at Odana Antiques.
Carly?
What a lot of people don't know is we're very seasonal. So
Sure.
we're starting to move into fall, which means plaid, those warmer brown, dark brown colors, and more hunting instead of fishing things.
Okay.
It's so interesting how far ahead of the curve you need to be in a retail setting. I mean, that's really interesting because we're thinking summer. It's hot
Right,
outside. We're in
yes.
this
Right.
gorgeous summer set, but you're already getting ready for fall. So I think that's really interesting how
And that's
quick it
really
comes.
driven by the customers, actually.
Is it?
Every
Okay.
year we have people who start asking in early October about when Christmas is coming.
Wow, people are early.
I suppose they're planning ahead of time, trying to plan the changes they're going to make to their spaces.
That's so smart. Yeah, and stuff comes and goes so quickly here. You got to be on the ball.
Yeah,
do.
you
But
do.
okay, so we're gonna cut to the chase. We always ask about the hot sellers. We're gonna get it out right now. What are the best sellers?
Well, not what you would think. We are doing a lot of records, believe it or not, and they are looking for early rock.
Okay.
We are still doing a lot of windows of a variety of different kinds. A lot of UW memorabilia and other sporting goods. We've got a great dealer who deals in sports memorabilia. Art is still hot. Jewelry is still good. Cast iron, believe it or not. We're selling a lot of cast iron frying pans and griddles. And
I would never
mid-century
think
modern.
to come look for that here, but it makes sense.
It does. And the old stuff, the Griswold, the Wagner, is much, much,
Right.
much sturdier and better made than a lot of the newer styles.
And you can probably get something that's pretty seasoned, right?
Yes.
So then
Yes.
it's supposed to work better. Is
Yes.
that right when it comes to
yeah,
cast
no,
iron?
you're on it. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's kind of coming back for cooking. We spent so much time having the newer surfaces, but they're not as safe and the food's not as good.
Right,
so
right.
Interesting. That's
Right.
a whole other show, but that's an interesting
Yeah.
side note. And the jewelry here, oh my gosh, is so stunning.
We've got
beautiful.
some really nice pieces.
Yeah.
Such beautiful stuff. So what do you say to people who come in and say, oh, I don't like antiques?
Well, we have that happen a fair amount. They walk in the door and they say, oh, I'm here because my husband, brother, sister dragged me. I don't like antiques. And then they say, but I like that.
Right?
And I kind of like that.
There's something here for everybody.
There is, and there's a lot of people believe that antiques means, what you would picture George Washington sitting on, a really fancy little settee, drinking out of a very pretty china cup.
Yeah.
And a lot of dark wood, lace, and cut glass. But we are so much more. And even if you look at the popular TV shows, American Pickers, Flea Market Flip, all of those shows are focusing more on architectural and industrial and repurposed. And the 50s, like your dress is inspired by. So there's a lot out there if you broaden the definition of what antiques is.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's becoming such a beautiful way to integrate into, a home space, your living room or really any room dining, to have, even if you have newer items, to have a few of those vintage pieces or antiques, because it just brings so much more character to a space in a world with so much mass production. It just is so nice.
Yeah. And not only character, but it really is good for recycling and reuse.
Yeah.
It's very green to buy antiques.
Good point.
Yeah, good point.
Really good point.
Yeah.
And along those same sort of stereotypes of maybe antiques aren't for me, and then they come in and sure enough they are, let's talk a little bit about the customer base, because you do kind of think, who's your customer? Is it the older adults? Is it becoming everybody?
It's becoming everybody. Everyone goes to different things, so we have a wide range of items and we have a wide range of customers.
And on a weekend in here, you'll typically see a number of people under 30. They're looking for records mid-century. You'll see people between 30 and 50. They're looking for things for their home. You see older people. Sometimes they're looking for more traditional things. But some of my older couples are buying, name brand mid-century pieces that they can't find anywhere else. And I actually credit your show a lot for helping with that, because you helped people see that it's not just all lace and cut glass and walnut.
Awesome. Yeah, it's such a beautiful store. And Janet's often saying this when she's not in here, obviously, right now, but it's not a place that you have to almost bring a friend, because there's so much to look at, and you want to show it off. Like, oh, look at that, look at that. When you come by yourself, you're, oh no, I'm not with anyone. I want to show someone that.
How cool is this piece kind of thing?
It's so fun to come in.
I know you guys mentioned too that people under 30 coming in. So do you guys have stuff too for dorms or maybe that college demographic too?
We have furniture in almost every price point, up to a couple $1,000s a piece.
Sure.
So if you're looking for something for your first apartment, you're going to find something that you can keep for your first home and keep for after that. We do have and for a dorm room, I saw a really cute college student buy this great 1960 coffee pot with bold, bright flowers all over the sides of it. And she said it'll just add a little pizzazz. So there really
That's the perfect word.
Pizzazz. And you don't have to spend a fortune. A lot of people walk out of here and they haven't spent $30, but they've got something fun and cute.
True, and I decorated my apartment with things mostly here. And what's also great is that they're much better made than most things are today. So if you buy an old dresser, just a simple dresser, it doesn't really have any, things that will tell you what decade it's from.
Sure.
But it will last, and you will be able to have that dress for many years.
Made with a different type of quality.
Right. And if you get tired of it, chalk paint it.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can always make it new again.
Right.
Let's talk about unusual items before we go.
Okay. A couple of them. Let's see. We still have the really tall birds from the hardware store or sporting goods store. They're about 3 feet tall. We have a chair in the shape of a hand, which is a must-have for your first apartment.
It's so cool.
What else? What am I missing?
We have the store display scooter.
We have the store display scooter from 1960. No motor, but it's a cute little Vespa that would have been on display. And I'm trying to think, and a couple other bizarre little trinkets here. They're a really cute little pail from Disneyland from 1949 that says Disneyland on it with all the little ducks.
So this makes me not want to throw anything away, because I think it's going to be really cool in like 50 years.
Yeah.
That's so true.
But I'm a pack rat, so I can't do that.
Or just don't store it and have someone else do it and come here and get it.
Just
that
come to
hand
Odana
chair
Antiques.
is like the coolest thing. I love it.
Well, wonderful. Thank you both for being here today, Sue and Carly. Thanks
you.
again, and thanks for hosting us today.
Our pleasure.
And thanks for watching Girl Talk. You can find us next time only on Channel 57.